So this is the home of my YouTube page. If you go to cmdess on YouTube, this is the first page you should see. And I have it separated by videos that I made. So these are more sophisticated, like not just music, but things I put together. They're mostly videos I created, and mostly videos that were created through stuff I did at work or other things to promote my music. The other thing is we have a release section. So anything that I put out on Spotify and Pandora and Apple Music, et cetera, et cetera, they go through this channel right here automatically, so I don't have to do anything with that. But what it is over time, when I have an opportunity, I put my collections of music that I've done or am doing in a batch, and then eventually we'll release them, funnily enough. And the reason I do that is because when you do that, it also gives you like ISRC codes and ways to track the music and where it's going and if it's being played and how and who and where. And these also generally go into ASCAP as well. This is top viewed videos. So this one has the first one I ever came up with that really made me realize I need to do some videos for YouTube was this one right here about the Shark cordless vacuum, and that's why I have it front and center. I'm very proud of it. However, what's crazy is a video I did that basically wasn't very, it's not very useful now because it's changed, but it got 20,000 views. And so anyways, that's why this is mainly like popular videos, I guess. And so Easy on the Ears is also a cool one because what it is here is I have a blending of my commercial music and music I've released independently. One of my favorite pieces is actually called Vigilante, and another one is called Trading Earth for a Buck, or Born Elite is the commercial name. Born Elite, Trading Earth for a Buck was the first highly successful, let's say, library piece that I did, and it was used for a lot of promos in television. But however, the Easy on the Ears playlist, the point of making it was, it's not necessarily my trailer music, my production music, or stuff like that. It's a blending of just whatever I've done from anywhere, whether it's independent or commercial, that anybody who just wants to hear easy listening, essentially, could listen to. And it's different kinds of easy listening. For instance, this is piano, where this is like a light orchestral piece. This is a really cool piece. You should check this out. Then we have official cmdess stuff. So this is actually the tip of the spear in some ways. What it is whatever I'm currently working on, I shoot it over here. And then also just various things I have curated myself in terms of like stuff that I want to be known as the first thing you should listen to understand what's going on with cmdess, because I'm a very broad spectrum, very prolific creative person. And so just putting out releases isn't quite enough. They have to be also curated, at least by me, and then they're also additionally curated on sites like Pandora and Spotify by their own editors. All right, now this is one of the great loves of my life, the classical music. So I did make a separate section which has, mainly the orchestral hybrid style works. Love this stuff. One of my favorite projects I ever worked on in commercial was for Sonaton, and it was called initially called Coliseum, but then later it became Fight for Victory, and then Fearless Champions. So, but however, this was some of the best work I've ever done in my life, and it's a hybrid of real orchestra and me doing mock-ups. And there's additional composers as well, I should mention, who contributed various unique accents I may not have thought of. These were worldwide composers. And one of them actually is the owner of Sonaton. His name is Gregor Norholtz. So he and his father started Sonaton in Germany, and they have many thousands of very talented composers working for Sonaton. It's one of the huge distributors for the production music world in Germany, but also all around the world. And they happen to use APM Music as well, which is my main publisher here in the United States. Okay, so then we have the cmdess Made Food section. This was just another idea to make videos. I do a lot of DIY videos, and I do a lot of food videos. There's probably several hundred freaking food videos in here. It's like the whole list. Now what it is also I started doing hybrid stuff where I was making stuff that was from the mail order kits, and I realized that it was getting traction. The whole point of me is initially was to try to put my music into the video to be my own little video in sync person, but of course that's just way too much work, and it's not really how the whole system works anyways, and it's just a labor of love. It was what it turned out to be. But there was some additional traction on some videos, like the stuff I did for HelloFresh, where I showed how to make their stuff in video format. It did get some traction, but now everybody's doing that, so it's a whole different ballgame. But also, they don't really put their own music in the videos, and really the whole point of it for me was always, of course, to somehow incorporate my music, which is the entire point of the YouTube channel. It has really less to do with some other things, but I just so happen to be involved in other things because of my involvement with music. For instance, this other one, which is really cool, this is more like tutorials, and this was my initial branching out into making videos that were kind of explainers. I'm no expert on anything, but I find cool stuff and I just try to share it, and I try to share something that's maybe useful or an interesting anecdotal thing that you discover on the process of being a composer type who studied this stuff since I was about 12 years old, and I'm going on 41 now, or 42. So anyways, it's been a long time I've been researching, so I find things here and there. And then another one I did is, I don't really generally do live music, but I wanted to experiment with doing some live stuff for for YouTube, just to see how it would do, how it would perform. And it's okay, it's when you get 900 views, you get 1,000 views. It really depends on the kind of products you use and how good the video is done and all this kind of stuff. And I don't really have too much time to allocate to this stuff. It's more of a labor of love. The entire YouTube ecosystem is still at this point a labor of love, because I don't do like the super polished YouTube videos, and I don't have any connections in YouTube or anything like that. So it's just like, whatever I can think of to do a video, maybe it'll have my music in it, this kind of thing. All right, next one is super important. This one is the actual placements of my music in TV, which is without a doubt something that I'm very proud of, and one of the most incredible achievements of my career. Very lucky to have been involved in that while I was in California for 12 years. So it was a miracle when I got my first one, and it was a miracle when I got my 100th and 200th and all these things. And I'm very honored to be incorporated in that still, and I hope I can continue to supply for the synchronization world and much more. All right, so there's quite a few of these as well. They're worth checking out. Some of my favorites would be like UFC. You can hear my sort of more percussion or more avant-garde or more trailer-oriented music. I was shocked to see Wuhan Floods using one of my pieces. I just happened to be watching it and saw them come on, and it's like, oh my God, that's mine. And so there's some great distributors who are able to hook me up with these kinds of people to get me placements. And so anyways, last but not least, work-related. Work-related is so much work. It is my day job, and it's where I put a ton of stuff that I do, where I try to generally go somewhat beyond the scope of my normal routine in my work, and maybe do a little touch-ups here and there. I'm certainly no technician. I'm no expert in any of this stuff. Trying to improve what I can improve, in a sort of selfless way. And so I do also document it so that it's known that I'm trying to make efforts to improve conditions. No matter what's going on in the world, I'm always trying. So anyways, that's work-related stuff. And one of my favorite videos, I don't know if I mentioned this, is this one, because it has a great orchestral piece, really mood setting, and then it also has a really great video, and they did really awesome decorating, and they were nice enough to let me utilize the footage of the facility, and so I incorporated my music, and I thought it was really, really great. It was probably one of my better video productions. All right, I'll leave it at that. So this is what you should see if you go to the cmdess YouTube channel. But if you just search cmdess, on YouTube, you're going to find so much stuff, and I don't know what it is, and I'm terrified for you. But basically, that's why I created this, so there'd be more of an organized pathway to understand more of what I'm about, what I do, and what I try to cover. But mainly, it's for the music.